You know what's crazy? Japan has one of the highest savings rates in the world, and yet their average salary is way lower than most Western countries. I'm talking about people earning half of what you might make in the US, Canada, or Europe, and still saving more. But here's the wild part. They're not doing it with side hustles. They're not flipping real estate or jumping into crypto. They're not working 80-hour weeks. They're doing it by spending less, on purpose, silently, intentionally, and it works. This isn't about living like a monk or denying yourself joy. It's about the mindset that makes wealth possible even when your income isn't massive. And once you understand how they do it, you'll start to see your own money completely differently. Let's start with something simple that runs deep through Japanese culture. The word Mottainai. It means, what a waste, but not in a judgy way. It's more like a respectful whisper from your conscience. A reminder not to waste food, not to waste energy, and not to waste money. That one idea shapes everything. In the West, we're constantly told to spend. Buy now, upgrade, treat yourself, new season, new stuff. In Japan, the default isn't can I afford it? It's do I need it? That shift is powerful. It doesn't mean Japanese people don't enjoy life, it means they enjoy what lasts, things that hold value over time. That goes for relationships, clothing, even the food they eat. There's a sense of intention behind what they spend on, and that translates to better financial stability, even without a big paycheck. Now here's where it gets fascinating. A lot of Japanese households use an old-school method to manage their money. It's called Kakeibo. It's not a budgeting app or a spreadsheet, it's a physical notebook. You write down what you earn, what you spend, what you want to save, and this is the genius part, why you spent what you spent. That why changes everything. Because you start to notice patterns. You realize half the stuff you buy isn't because you need it. It's because you're bored, stressed, or just trying to feel something. Once you connect your spending to your emotions, you start making different choices. Not because you're forcing yourself, but because those purchases stop making sense. One of my friends tried this for 30 days, just kept a simple log on his phone. Nothing fancy. At the end of the month he was stunned. He didn't feel like he was cutting back, but his spending dropped by almost 40%. No spreadsheets, no restrictions, just awareness. And that's the secret. Awareness is leverage. But it doesn't stop there. A lot of Japanese kids grow up with envelope budgeting. They get a small allowance and split it into envelopes. Save, spend, give, and dream. It's not just about controlling money, it's about giving it direction, even at age 8. Imagine if that was normal where you live. Meanwhile, most of us wait to start saving until we're making enough. But what is enough, really? Every time you level up your income, your lifestyle expands to match it. Better phone, bigger apartment, fancier dinners. You don't fix the habit, you just scale the chaos. But the Japanese don't wait. They start with what they have, even if it's small, because they understand something most people ignore. The amount matters less than the habit. Saving 500 yen a day, that's like $3, adds up to over $1,400 a year. Do that for a decade, invest a little of it, and you're looking at serious compound growth. No magic, just consistency. The truth is, if you can't save on a small income, you won't magically start saving when you make more. You'll just spend more. The foundation isn't the paycheck, it's the pattern. And this is why quiet savers become quiet millionaires. No noise, no flex, just long-term thinking in a short-term world. So, take a second. Ask yourself, is your problem really about how much you earn, or is it about how much you leak? Because once you plug the leaks, the income matters a whole lot less. In the next part of this video, we'll get into the everyday habits, the actual small moves Japanese families make to keep their costs low and their savings high. You don't have to move to Tokyo to use them, you just have to be willing to see money through a new lens. And when you do, you'll start realizing something surprising. You already have enough, you just need to start treating it like it matters. So now that we've reframed the whole "I need a bigger salary" myth, let's dig into what really keeps Japanese households financially stable, even when things get tight. It's not luck, it's not privilege, it's design. Their entire lifestyle is structured to resist unnecessary spending, quietly, efficiently, and without drama. Let me show you how. One of the smartest things I noticed when I visited Japan was how convenience is never confused with laziness. In a lot of places, the more convenient something is, the more expensive it becomes. Think Uber Eats, Amazon Prime, luxury gym memberships. But in Japan, convenience often works the opposite way. It makes life easier and cheaper. Take transportation. Most people there use trains, bikes, or walk, not because they can't afford cars, but because it makes more sense. Gas, insurance, maintenance, It's all expensive and honestly kind of a pain, so they just sidestep that whole cost category altogether. Even city planning encourages frugality. Stores are small, you shop daily or every couple of days. That sounds inefficient to some people, but it actually prevents overbuying. No more massive Costco runs where you stock up on 30 granola bars and wonder where your paycheck went. You just get what you need, eat fresher, and waste less. It's like their whole system is whispering, hey, slow down, buy less, enjoy more. And the kitchens? Tiny. There's no space for 20 different appliances or a pantry full of junk food. You cook simple meals, less processed stuff, less waste, more health. It's all connected. One of my favorite memories was walking into a tiny Japanese apartment. The fridge was the size of a hotel minibar. The rice cooker sat neatly next to a single electric burner. And guess what? That family was eating better, cheaper, and healthier than most people I know with giant stainless steel kitchens. This isn't about deprivation. It's about designing your environment so it's harder to mess up financially. Because let's be real, we all mess up when things are too easy. If your phone is linked to your favorite food app and you're hungry, tired, and stressed, that's not willpower. That's a trap. The Japanese system is built to help you win by default. That's wealth building on autopilot. Even their culture around clothing is intentional. You'll rarely see someone with a giant walk-in closet full of random fast fashion. It's more common to own a few high-quality, timeless pieces that can be worn in multiple ways. And it's not just about saving money, it's about saving mental energy. When you don't have to think about what to wear or whether you've bought too much, that's headspace you can use for bigger goals. A friend of mine lived in Osaka for 2 years teaching English. When she first got there, she brought 3 suitcases packed with clothes, shoes, gadgets, all the usual just-in-case stuff. But after 6 months, she donated or sold over half of it, not because someone told her to, just because she felt better without it. She told me, I realized I don't need most of what I own. I just bought it to feel like I was making progress, but the progress was fake. That hit me hard. We often equate buying with momentum. Like if we get the new planner, we'll suddenly become organized. If we buy the workout gear, we'll start running. But Japanese culture leans into use first, buy second. If something no longer adds value, it's out. No guilt, no drama, just space. And that space, it translates into freedom, financial, emotional, and mental. This is where wealth begins to feel like peace, not pressure. Because what if building wealth didn't have to feel like a struggle? What if it was just the natural outcome of living well? That's what the Japanese model teaches us. It's not a money hack, it's a philosophy, a way of being. One where spending less doesn't mean living less. It means living sharper. You still enjoy life, you still buy things, but you do it with intention, not impulse. And over time, that small shift becomes a massive advantage. Because here's the truth most people miss. The cost of stress is real. Financial chaos doesn't just drain your bank account, it drains your joy. It turns every dinner out into guilt, every bill into anxiety, every paycheck into a sigh of relief instead of a step forward. But when your system works for you, when your life is lean by design, not by force, suddenly money becomes quiet, calm, background noise instead of a constant alarm, and that's when wealth starts to grow. Not because you're grinding harder, but because you've stopped bleeding energy. Now you're building something, not just a savings account, a lifestyle that holds itself together. In the next part of this video, we're going to unpack how Japanese families actually pass down this mindset, the way they teach kids, manage family finances, and invest in community. It's not loud, it's not flashy, but it works across generations. And if you've ever felt like you're behind, stuck, or overwhelmed by money, this next piece is where it all starts to click. Because maybe you don't need to hustle harder. Maybe you just need to design smarter. We'll get into it right after this. So here's where it all ties together. We've talked about how the Japanese approach money like a quiet art form, not a loud hustle. We've seen how they build wealth through design, not force. But the real magic? It's in how they pass it down. Because this mindset doesn't stop with one person. It becomes generational. It shows up in how kids are taught to respect a coin, how teenagers are expected to manage allowance envelopes, how families discuss money without shame, like it's just another part of life, not a secret or a stress bomb waiting to go off. One of my favorite moments from a trip to Kyoto was watching a little boy, maybe 7 years old, at a market. He wanted a toy, something small, maybe 500 yen. Instead of just begging his parents like most kids might, he opened his own coin purse, counted carefully, and paused. He turned to his mom and asked, "If I buy this now, I won't have enough for the candy next week. Should I wait?" And she didn't tell him what to do, she just smiled and said, "You decide." That's wealth education. Not lectures, not punishments, just real choices with real consequences. That little moment, that's a seed being planted, one that grows into lifelong awareness, into control, into peace. And honestly, isn't that the dream? To make money something that frees you, not something that owns you? See, we spend so much time trying to escape financial stress through more income, more hacks, more side hustles. But the Japanese model shows us something revolutionary. Sometimes the answer isn't more. Sometimes the answer is less, but better. Less waste, less mindless spending, less emotional buying, better systems, better awareness, better peace of mind. And you don't need to move across the world to start this. You can start right now. Start with the Kakeibo method. Write down your spending for the next 7 days. Don't judge it, just notice it. Ask yourself why you bought each thing. What were you feeling? What did you need? What did you really want? Then look around your space. What do you use daily? What sits untouched? What could you sell, give away, or just stop replacing? Try eating at home 3 more times this week, not to punish yourself, just to see how it feels, to taste the difference between intentional and automatic. Track a small habit. Save a small amount. Start a small routine. The power isn't in doing it perfectly, it's in doing it consistently. Because every time you choose simplicity over chaos, you reclaim a piece of your freedom. And over time, those tiny decisions start stacking. Quietly, steadily, invisibly, until one day you wake up and realize you're not behind anymore. You're not just surviving, you're building, not because you made more money, but because you made better moves. And if that doesn't feel like a superpower, I don't know what does. So here's your move right now. If this video hit something in you, if it made you think, I could actually do this, then do one thing today, one small shift. Drop a comment below and tell me what you're starting with. Whether it's envelope budgeting, tracking emotions, or just cooking dinner tonight, speak it out loud, say it with intention, and then follow through. And hey, if this helped you, share it with someone you care about. A friend, a sibling, someone who's been drowning in the more trap. Help them breathe a little easier too, because real wealth, it isn't loud, it's quiet, it's slow. It's yours. When you decide to build it on purpose. You've got this. See you in the next one.